because this is a way that you can use 3D circumstances. If you've ever watched 3D circumstances videos, this is a way that you can take your 3D circumstances and shift it, because you're shifting you to the wish fulfilled. And that's why this is the wish fulfilled playground. Hey there, how are you? We're back again. And I have a question for you today and an experience. Do you realize that you are already a millionaire? How about if I put it to you this way? You're an accidental millionaire. Now, you may be looking at your bank account going, Dede, I don't see it. And for those of you who already do see it, this video can take your millions to the next level. Because this is a video spotlight. This is going to spotlight a video that I did almost a year ago that has its own guidebook. So if you would like to get the guide, all you have to do in the comment section below is put the word guidebook, and I'll send you the link so that you can download that guidebook for free. But I also want your commentary in the comment section below, because I want to see how this opens up and expands your consciousness right here, right now. Because in our consciousness, we hear these echoes, and the mind is always giving us stories as to why we are something or why we aren't. And usually your mind will tell you, well, you're not a millionaire yet because I don't see the proof. But yet this is the same mind that demands proof from you when you share something. So because it's not here right now, the mind says you're not it, because it focuses on the 3D world. But everything was within you before you realized it in the 3D world. And the only proof was you, your knowing. Your knowing is the only proof that you need. However, this video spotlight is going to show you how everything out there is a very neutral template. It's like that show, Whose Line Is It Anyway? When they're handed props and they just automatically think of new ideas of what to put over top of the props.
So what do you say? I'm on fire?
Going in that direction, I'm going that way.
Fister, one moment, please. Fister, one moment, please. You're looking kind of down, Tim.
So that's kind of what we're doing. We're in a total improv right now. And I want you to look around the room, and I want you to see how you describe your circumstances right now. We're going to call that your jump off or your baseline. And by the end of this video, I want to know how that same room that you're in, or the same house, or wherever you're at, how you've rewritten your script because you just realized you're an accidental millionaire. Get your pen and paper ready, and I'm going to take you back to the past. This is a great way to use past to serve you. Instead of redoing this video all over again, I really spotlight it for you today, bring it up and show you how something that I did over 10 months ago, we're pulling it into the now and we're bringing it right here. We're bending time and space. And I really look forward to your feedback. So if you want to work with me, you know what to do. All the info is in the description box below. And I'm so excited to see how your mindset will change instantly by the time you're done this video. All right, guys, no further ado. Here is the video from May 2024. You're an accidental millionaire. Manifest millions while you watch this video. Welcome to the Invincible CEO Wish Fulfilled Playground. I am Dede Powerniak. I am the Invincible CEO, and I'm here to help you manifest with ease. Why? Because manifestation is simple, easy, and fun. And today I'm going to ask you the question, do you know that you are an accidental millionaire? I'm so excited to help you realize that you're an accidental millionaire. Say it with me right now. I'm an accidental millionaire, and put it in the comments below. Dede, I'm an accidental millionaire, and I'm excited to find out how. Because what I realized back in 2007, and it's the basis of a lot of things that we're doing here, is that I allowed my mind to convince me that I was broke, poor, while I was sitting in the lap of luxury, and I couldn't see what was right in front of my eyes. So stay with me to the end of this video. We're going to workshop this together so that you can see that the template that you're on, you are an accidental millionaire. And once you have this shift within you and you realize that you are all this wealth, it makes it easier for you to bring in your manifestations, but also to bring in more wealth because you are now acknowledging the accidental millionaire that you are. It's so exciting. Now, I did create a little guidebook for this video. And if you would like to receive the guidebook, type in the comments below guidebook, and I will send you the link for the guidebook. And we're going to walk through this, but the guidebook goes in a little bit deeper because I want to keep this video short because we can do it in a short amount of time. But I want you to really go in and build your wealth that you have right here, right now. I'm so excited for that. So I'm going to walk you through a couple different steps. Why are we doing this? Because I want to see you win. I want to see you win big, and I want to see you win all the time. And I'm giving you so many different ways to do that. But all you need is one shift. So if you're someone that's been looking for an SP, doing it with wealth will be something that will help you with your SP, because once you feel this shift for one topic, you shift on all topics, because what we're doing here, you could do the same thing with an SP. You could do the same thing with your business. You could do the same thing with any topic, because this is a way that you can use 3D circumstances. If you've ever watched 3D circumstances videos, this is a way that you can take your 3D circumstances and shift it, because you're shifting you to the wish fulfilled. And that's why this is the wish fulfilled playground. So what I want to do right now is tell you the story that I was in real quick in 2007. And you're probably going to roll your eyes, because I know I do. It's okay. Roll your eyes. And if you want to, you can put in the comments, Dede, I'm rolling my eyes, because I do it now too. But this goes to show you the level that thoughts that are not your own, that have to audition for your attention, they convince you that this is your real reality, because you think you're awake because your eyes are open, but you're really asleep. But once you understand what thoughts are, they're meant to serve you. And unless having a story of that you're broke or you don't have enough serves you, which I would agree, we'll all agree that it doesn't, but until it does, right? That you see the big joke you've been playing on yourself. So let's go back to 2007, mom of 5. I've been a stay-at-home mom for over 11 years at that point. Given up my career as an interrogator, I wasn't doing any outside work outside the house. Here's the story. Get ready to roll your eyes. I realized this one day, that I'm at my shore house. Now, I had a house and a shore house. And the shore house was bigger than my house. And I'm sitting there, and during that time, I was reading Conversations with God, the trilogy book of the first 3 books, and it's a book that I read every year because it is a blueprint for manifestation. And I'm reading the book, and I can't remember the exact thing that Neil Donald Walsh said in his book, but I went, wait, what? Because I was just thinking about how broke I was, how maybe I should go back to work, or what, because all value, at least in my world at that time, was you had to earn money. If you were valuable to society, forget that I was raising 5 amazing children, that I had the luxury to be a stay-at-home mom, right? None of that was clicking, like all that I had that I wasn't realizing. But I was sitting in my shore house, which I could go to as much as I want, however often I want. It was about 3 hours away. We lived in Pennsylvania. Our shore house was outside of Rehoboth, Delaware, in a beautiful community called the Peninsula. So just wealth right there. But it wasn't connecting, because here's my story. I was a stay-at-home mom. So this shore house that was bought, yeah, I was aware that it was happening. It was through my then husband's company at the time. And here, I wasn't working, and I have access to this beautiful shore house. It's all mine. But because I didn't earn it, because I didn't make the money for it, and because of some other themes that were going on in my life, it's not that I didn't feel that I deserved it, because I feel very entitled in my reality. And I'm going to tell you, you need to feel entitled. And if someone calls you entitled, then you're on the right track, because only someone who doesn't understand manifestation will think entitled is a bad thing, right? Because it's in the title. I'm wealthy. It's in the title, entitled. Anyway, you know how I like to play with words. So here I am at this shore house filled with beautiful furniture, beautiful shore house. We did rent it out from time to time, but I could technically have it as much as I wanted to all year long, not just in the summertime or the season. And I'm sitting in this shore house thinking that I'm broke because I don't have a job earning money. Like, this is what your mind does to you. Sitting in luxury, not realizing. So all of a sudden something clicked and I went, wait a minute. Like, look where I am. Look what I have access to. And I want you to say the same thing where you are, wherever you are right now, whatever you, because access is the big word. Access is what's going to shift everything for you. So I decided to take out a piece of paper and I started to list all the stuff that I had access to. And meaning, and even from a law standpoint, possession is ownership. Possession is ownership. If you have access to it, if you're possessing it, it doesn't mean like there was a mortgage on the shore house. There was a mortgage on my house, right? I had car loans on my cars, but technically I own them and technically I had access to them, right? So that's what I want you to understand. Point number one. What do you right now have access to? Because we've been taught at a very small level that our bank accounts are our wealth. At least my generation did. But now it's very different because it's what do you have access to? And if you're going to put a story on something, let's shift the story because that's what we're doing here now. So I want you right now to think about how, whatever house that you live in, whether you rent it, you have a mortgage, or you own it outright, doesn't matter. You have access to it. You have full access to it. You have the key to it. How much is that house worth? So at the time I was in the shore house was roughly worth about $650,000. And this is going back to 2007. So I wrote that down. And then I said to myself, well, what about my house? And at that time, the house was worth about $450,000. Right there, I'm an accidental millionaire. Isn't it crazy that I have access to two houses, and yet because I wasn't earning a paycheck or bringing in money, I wasn't giving myself value as to financial abundance. I was allowing outside people and outside circumstances to tell me I wasn't wealthy. Crazy. And we buy into it because we don't know any better, but now you do. So then I took it a step further. I'm like, okay, what else do I have access to? I have access to 3 cars. I had a Yukon XL. I had a Volvo XC90. I know, roll your eyes. And a Volvo C70 convertible. Now, 2 of the 3 cars are in my name, but I have access to all 3. So I wrote down what I thought they were worth. And you can put guesstimates. It does. I mean, if you feel more comfortable looking it up on the internet, go for it. But a guesstimate is good enough. So I'm like, okay, I have access to these cars. Now, the shore house is full of furniture. I have no idea because it was all like, when I tell you this was all taken care of for me, I didn't have to go earn the money. I didn't have to go purchase the furniture. It's all there for me. I have access to it, but yet I was sitting in this house thinking that I was broke because my bank account said so. Or I didn't have the money in my bank account that I wanted, even though my children wanted for nothing. We had access to so much stuff, but because it was my norm, my mind made it seem like it wasn't of value. And I bought into that until I didn't. So I don't want you to buy into that anymore. So what house do you have access to, or homes? Give them a value. What cars do you have access to? Doesn't matter if you own it or you're paying on it or it's old clunker, it still has value. If you have access to it, it doesn't even have to work. You still have access to it, write it down. So then I'm like, I went to my then husband and said, how much roughly is the furniture in here? If you were to guess, because like I said, I didn't even have to make the decision to purchase it. And I knew it was high-end furniture. And he gave me a figure, I put that down. And then I went and looked at all the little incidentals, right? That wasn't furniture. Because, you know, if you've ever gotten a house or an apartment, all those little things add up, like spoons and forks and cups and plates and all those and decorations. So I kind of ballparked that figure and I wrote that down. And then I did the same thing for my house because I do know what the furniture costs there. And so not only the value of the house, the furniture, all the incidentals. And then I went and I'm like, okay, now what about my clothes? Now, for those of you who spend more money on clothes than other stuff, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of a value of investment that you've made in yourself and in your whatever you decided to purchase. But I still added up not only my clothes, my shoes, purses, my then husband at the time, all his stuff, because we have access to it, right? Because if the money wasn't spent for that, it would have been in the bank account. All the kids, 5 kids, lots of clothes, lots of stuff, toys, all of the stuff, gave it some ballpark figures, right? So I went through the whole template because that's what I have here. You have a template, and this template has value, and it doesn't matter whether you paid for it or not. It doesn't matter whether you own it or not, or you're still paying on it. You have access to it. So by now, you should already realize that you're an accidental millionaire. But let's take it a little further. Maybe quite, you're not quite there. What else do you have access to? So as a former gym owner, I know how expensive gym equipment is. It is expensive. Even the little things add up, right? The little bands, and the slam balls and all the little stuff versus the really big equipment. But if you have access for a gym, even though you pay a little bit of a fee each month, I guarantee you, based on the size of the gym, if you go to one of the regular chain gyms, you're looking at least $500,000 worth of equipment. At least you have access to $500,000. And if it's a smaller gym, maybe take it down to $250,000, $300,000. But still, it's an investment that you didn't make, that all you do is pay a little fee for. And then there you go. You have total access to all the equipment, because wealth is about access. If you talk to any multimillionaire or billionaire, it's access. What does it buy you? It's not the money itself. It buys you time and it buys you access. And today we're talking about access because you are an accidental millionaire. So I want you to continue on this list, because I didn't even talk about your computer or your phone. And not only the value if you were to sell your computer or you were to trade in your phone, but what does it give you access to, right? Having the computer gives me access to create these videos. Having my phone and my iPad gives me access to wealth. And it's all a shift of, look at all these things I have in my template. Your computer alone is millions and millions and millions of dollars of access for you. Just imagine if you stopped watching the videos and you started creating your own. I had a list. I wanted access to certain things. Once I figured this out in 2007, that changed everything for me, because then I wanted to be an access point for other people, right? Just like the gyms that I go to, they are an access point for me to pay a small fee, and I get access to not having to have all that equipment in my gym. I now can go somewhere else and have access, and I don't have the insurance. I don't have to purchase the equipment. I don't have to hire the staff. I don't have to do any. I can just go in and do my workout and then leave and then have access to something else. Think about the supermarkets that you have access to. Even though you're not going to buy every single thing there, you have access to all the food there that you get to choose from. And that's what we're talking about if I said access enough, right? All right, so you're going to create this list because I want you to see that if you were in a mindset that said, I don't have enough, or where's my stuff, you first have to love where you are. It's a jump off point. And doing this access exercise to how much what you already have is worth, and then knowing that this is what your mind has given you. It's creating it simultaneously right now for you to have access to. That's the big thing. You are an accidental millionaire, and now you're a millionaire because it's no longer an accident. It's only an accident until the moment that you have the shift, and now you're a millionaire. And that should feel different, because here's the thing. When you are a millionaire, you behave differently than when you're allowing the mind to convince you that you're not. And how I know, like, one of the things that it hit me back in 2007 is I donate a lot of clothes to Goodwill and the clothes donation boxes. When you are not a millionaire, when you're not a millionaire, you're not giving stuff away. So if you're giving anything away, you're already an accidental millionaire, right? Long before I was monetized here on YouTube, I was giving this all away because I knew my wealth. I knew what this would be. And I wanted to have multiple streams of income that I could say that I was making money even when I wasn't working. I was making money when I'm sleeping. And now I have multiple ways that I make money while I'm sleeping. And that's the really cool thing about this. When you take a concept and you realize, and you go into your story and you realize, I'm already doing it passively, right? Because that's what accidental millionaire is. It's a passive millionaire. I said to myself, well, if I can do this passively, just doing what I was loving, because I was loving being a stay-at-home mom to my kids. I was loving that. So if I was doing what I loved and I brought in all this abundance, what could I do if I went actively into being an active millionaire? Knowing that I could always fall back on being a passive one, because even when the active millions didn't seem to be coming in, I can say, well, I'm already and in the passive millions. And people are already always saying to me, Dede, how can I feel like a millionaire when I haven't been one yet? Well, you are. That's why I'm bringing you access to this information. So once again, if you would like the guidebook to really guide you, we go a little bit deeper in the guidebook than we did here. Type in the word guidebook, that you are an accidental millionaire, and no one else has pointed that out to you. Just imagine what you can do when you decide to be an on-purpose one. On purpose. See what I did there? On purpose. What is your purpose? Because people want access to you. I have created digital product after digital product, but I realize that people want access to me directly. That's where the secret sauce is. I'm living the experience of what I say, that your reality is mirroring you, but you got to take the next step, and that's all you need. So your next steps for today, type in guidebook, get the guidebook. Because if you got something out of this today, just imagine where your life will be 3 months from now. You won't need any more videos because you will be in the experience of manifestation. All right, guys, that's my plugs. That's how you're an accidental millionaire. If your mind has been blown, again, type in there, I'm an accidental millionaire. I didn't even know it. Thank you, Dede, for letting me know I'm sitting in all this abundance, all this wealth that I have access to. And now I'm never going to look at just my bank account or whatever it was before, saying that my millions are not here, when I'm sitting in them and my mind is creating it 24/7. There's so much of a deeper dive that we could have done that will be in that guidebook for you. And I'm so excited that you've been here. I will put the deep dive series up top here at the end of the video. Thank you so much for being here. And I truly, truly, truly want to see you win big. And I would love to get to know you a little bit better so that you can have exactly what you need, that all of your manifestation questions will be answered. And if should you have some more as you go into the experience of it, you will have access to me to get those answers. All right, guys, I enjoy doing these videos. Thank you so much. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, happy manifesting, happy wish fulfilled, and enjoy.